Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff. Co-host Chip is with family again. I think he might be with family the entire week. Tomorrow night, we do have a special guest that will be here with us on the chain. You guys got to show up, find out who it is, because I know you'll be fired up when you're here with us tomorrow night. Somebody you know very well, somebody in the crypto space. What is going on today? Ripple, XRP. You know what? The SEC stepping it, blow after blow after blow they're getting, man. It is XRP time. You know what? It's crypto time, because we're seeing the crypto space heating up like we haven't seen it in a long time. XDC, you've got Sol, you've got ADA, all these assets heating up. Even the Ask token was up earlier by like 60-70%. What is going on in this crypto space? We got a lot to cover. We're even going to talk about Frank. And yes, we are going to say thank you, Frank. We all need to say thank you, Frank. So, so if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's kick this thing off. Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
All right. So first and foremost, oh, wait a minute. Let me give a quick shout out here. Today's show is brought to you by Permissionio. You guys want to take control of your data? You guys want to be able to monetize your data? You know how you're online as you normally are, click, 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 searching things on the internet, and you stumble across all these ads. All those ads, they're making billions and billions and billions of dollars off of you, and you make zero. So Permissionio came up with this browser extension, and in the browser extension, you fill out your data, and every so often they'll pop up a video and say, hey, you want to watch this video? You say yes, you watch the video, you get to earn Ask token, ASK token. You earn it just from watching the video. That's how you monetize your data. That's how you take control, get the power back in your hands. It's your data, it's your time. Why not earn a little bit of Ask token while you're at it? So first things first, we got to start tonight off. Give a shout out where you guys are tuning in from. It's really great. We've got none other than Chip lurking somewhere in the background. Hey, OTC family, what is up? What's up? So first things first, what we need to do, we need to start this out. We're going to call the SEC. You know what? I'm going to start out by calling the CFTC. You guys know what that number is? So we got to get on here. Let's get on the old rotary phone, because that's how those guys work. So what we got to do, we're going to hit that 0, and we're going to call the operator. Hey, operator. We need to reach the CFTC. Tonight, we're going to talk about the CFTC. This is where we're going to start. Why? Because Ripple XRP, we want to get into this idea of what's been going on behind the scenes, right? And we got to go. Where do we go? Behind the scenes. CFTC Commissioner Stump decries oversimplification that crypto is either a security or a commodity. There you go. You know, we've been dialing the wrong number this entire time. JV the Great, 1-800 no clarity, or 1-800 lemon tree. We got it going. So, Mr. Wright, this phone is from like 1950. This phone is so heavy. It's like, you know, if anybody broke into your house, you're either using this or you're using this, and you can smack someone over the head when they break into your house. It's a nice weapon, defensive weapon. You can also make a phone call with it. It's got lots of great utility. This is what you call a utility token. Utility. We got Belfast here. Anthony, what is going on? Great to see you with us tonight. So anyhow, let's get into this. Why are we not, let me share it. All right, we're going to dig in, because we want to get to the point where we want to know, why are we thanking Frank? What did Frank do for us today that is great? Even actually started back in October of 2020, all the way back in October. Do you guys remember October of 2020? It was a pretty amazing month. So check this out. So we're going to start our whole evening narrative referencing the CFTC, and then it's going to build from there because we're going to go into the SEC. Then we're going to go over to a tweet from James, then a tweet from Deaton, John Deaton. We're going to reference a little bit, talk about HR 1628. What is HR 1628 all about? It all starts right here with the CFTC. Why? Because the one thing that we've all been told by Gary Gensler, if you think back, go back in time a little bit, way back in the day, about 2-3 weeks ago, way back in the day, when Gensler came out that said it was very clear what was or wasn't considered a security in the digital asset space. Number one. Number two, it was very clear that the SEC should have all the power, right? So now, what we're seeing here is that the CFTC can't get their enforcement story straight. The SEC can't get their enforcement story straight. Why? Because there's no clarity. There's all sorts of confusion as to what's a security, what's a commodity, what's neither. How do you identify it? How do you figure out if a crypto is a security or not a security? Who's making that determination? But Gary Gensler said, it's so clear. It's so clear. It's like looking through a clear window. It's perfect. You're looking on the other side and I see clarity. I have a big light bulb over my head because it's clear, right? But the thing that we're seeing here, and that is going to unfold with this next article from the SEC.gov and some of the other things as we kind of build through this whole scenario, is that there is no clarity, that the SEC, neither the SEC nor the CFTC, have any clear-cut directives on what's a security. It's a crypto asset, but is it a security? Is it not a security? Does the enforcement fall under the CFTC or the SEC? Maybe neither. Maybe it's a direct currency. Maybe it's not a commodity. Maybe, who knows, right? So it's also then inevitable, as we dig through what the SEC and the CFTC are doing, it's inevitable that we have to go back in time to January, February, March timeframe with the reintroduction of the Token Taxonomy Act. Or was it already way back in 2020? Actually, it gets really confusing and murky. And I think it was just reintroduced this year, right? 2021. So, because this is the third time the Token Taxonomy Act has been introduced in front of Congress, the third time that it's gone to the Financial Securities Committee with Maxine Waters. But there's no clarity. Gary Gensler says there is clarity. All right, but CFTC Commissioner Stump decries oversimplification that crypto is either a security or a commodity. The CFTC has jurisdiction only when looking at futures or other derivative products. Now, Stump comes out contrary to, what was the name of the commissioner? So the other commissioner, Brian Quintens, had said that the SEC has no authority over pure commodities or their trading venues, implying that the responsibility of cryptocurrency digital assets belongs to the CFTC. When obviously the SEC chair, Gensler, said the agency should regulate a broader segment of the crypto market, including possibly spot market and exchanges that list any cryptocurrency that can fall under security law. But how do you know what's what? Gary Gensler said it was clear. Quinten said it was a commodity. Stump is saying it isn't. It's not so clear cut. How can you come up with and derive an understanding and an idea without truly understanding exactly what it is, right? So then you have this article that came out in July based on a case where Commissioner Pierce and Roisman issued an opinion. So Biotics Ltd, formerly known as CoinSchedule ATD, Ltd, referred to herein as CoinSchedule, was a company based in the UK that operated a popular website, coinschedule.com. It publicized more than 2,500 current and upcoming digital token offerings, right? Token projects and token purchasers based in the US availed themselves of the platform. The order states that the digitized tokens publicized by CoinSchedule included those that were offered and sold as investment contracts, which are securities. We don't have to get into the legalese here, right? They're securities. They need to be disclosed. Now, both Roisman and Pierce come out and say, we agree with our colleagues that touting securities without disclosing the fact that you're getting paid and how much violates Section 17B. We nevertheless are disappointed that the commission's settlement with CoinSchedule did not explain which digital assets touted by CoinSchedule were securities. So this was July of 2021. August 2021, Gensler comes out and says, it's clear. We know it's clear as day. They're saying, why didn't they come out and explain what's what? You can't just have a predicament and end result without any defined clarity. No defined clarity. So an omission which is symptomatic of our reluctance to provide additional guidance about how to determine whether a token is being sold as part of a securities offering or which tokens are securities. Done, right? There is a decided lack of clarity for market participants around the application of the security laws to digital assets and their trading, as is evidenced by the request each of us receives for clarity and the consistent outreach to the commission staff for no action and other relief. There's no clarity, and it's proven over and over and over and over again. The test laid out in SEC v. Howey is helpful, but often, including with respect to many digital assets, the application of the test is not crystal clear. How much more do you need to know, right? You have Roisman and Hester Pierce dissent from the SEC, the other two, and potentially the chair saying there is no clarity. And it's been proven time and time again that there is a complete lack of clarity. Complete. It just, no clarity, zero clarity, doesn't exist. So then we go from this. Now it gets exciting, right? Because now Johnny Deaton came out with something, and it's really, really critical what he's referencing. Before I go into that, though, let me bring up HR, just so you guys have a reference point to real clarity, right? Something that it was offered March 8th of 2021, HR 1628, which is the Token Taxonomy Act. It's sitting in front of the Financial Services and the Ways and Means Committees. Guess what? No action. Nothing. Zero. Sitting there. Right? It's just limited action. The latest action is March 8th when it was referred to the Committee of Financial Services. March, April, May, June, July, August, 5 months ago. And then we have a bill on this infrastructure bill, never references back to HR 1628, which is by far the most critical bill ever put in front of Congress for cryptocurrency. The most critical. And they ignore it completely. So you have to have reference to this. This is really, really critical. This bill specifies that digital tokens, such as those used in virtual currencies, are not securities for regulatory purposes. The bill also provides for the tax treatment of virtual currencies, including by excluding from gross income any gains from virtual currency transactions up to $600 retroactive to January 1st. Now, had this bill been looked at, had this bill been passed, this conversation would be irrelevant. There would be clarity. This conversation would be irrelevant. There would be clarity. None of it would matter anymore. Right? So all of this time, imagine they could have passed the Token Taxonomy Act, except hours and hours and hours and hours of taxpayer dollars are going through the CFTC and the SEC to discuss and go after crypto companies based off of lack of clarity that could have been identified had they looked at and passed the Token Taxonomy Act. It could have simplified everything. So the CFTC commissioner Stump saying oversimplification. Well, no, it would have been completely simplified. It would have been clear, very, very clear at that point. Now, check this out. So James Fillon comes out, Ripple files response to the SEC's opposition to defendants' motion to compel the production of internal and interagency documents. We read footnote number 2 yesterday. Now, as we go through, Fillon says Mr. Hinman's personal views as to XRP's status are dubious. They are. XRP Yoda says, hand over the documents. What are they hiding? Right? Mesut Dogan says, can someone sum it up? Now, I like David. David Gierzbowski says, can someone explain this to me in WWF terms, please? Now, this is where it gets exciting because you get into these other tweets. They happen to be on the same page. Johnny Deaton also references a piece by Frank, right? Johnny Deaton says, in XRP Holders' motion to intervene, we use Frank's email as one of our exhibits. Great piece of evidence. Now, Yop Hope says, Johnny Deaton, have you seen this yet? Now, it goes over here because this is the tweet that came up. So check this out. This is like kind of blows your mind right here, right? Blows your mind. Ripple SEC News, Hester Pierce. I bought XRP early 2018. I wasn't sure if I bought a security because there was no decision yet. So I asked the SEC, here's the answer to my concerns. Are they lying to me? Gary Gensler says it's clear. Are they not telling the truth? What's going on here? What happened? So here's the letter, and this is the very letter that's being used by Johnny Deaton in XRP Holders v. SEC, right? So check out the date here, though. October 14th, 2020, 1 month before the SEC files lawsuit against Ripple. So thank you for a recent email to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. We appreciate the opportunity to review your additional concerns about Ripple, XRP cryptocurrency. Please be advised the SEC has not issued. Now, the question I have here is, the date stamped over here isn't the actual date. So we can make an assumption that this was the actual date, even though he's referencing a statement over here. They're referencing an older titled article from November 12th of 2017. So I don't know. I think this was submitted maybe on the 14th. The date is a little ambiguous to me, but maybe this was written in 2018. I don't know. But look, please be advised the SEC has not issued a determination on whether the cryptocurrency XRP is a security. Whether a cryptocurrency is considered a security will depend on the characteristics and use of the cryptocurrency. As we have suggested, you may want to review Chairman Clayton's statement regarding cryptocurrencies and initial coin offerings. And here is the statement from December 11th, 2017. Once again, thank you for contacting the SEC. Now, this is like a shocking letter, right? A shocking statement. Now, Johnny Deaton is saying they're using this email. They're using this, right? So that gets all sorts of exciting. You see a statement like that, and we know there isn't clarity. We know it's confusing. Holy cow. Yep. The link to the document didn't work. I didn't try the document. I don't know exactly. And I'm assuming we can go based on assumption that that document is authentic. All right. It's on Twitter. Why not? JV, it's no reason the SEC should be holding these documents hostage like this. It's like they're terrified for that info to get out. And it needs to get out. We need to be able to see this information. It's only fair. Right? Matt LaRoche. Oh, but that was just the Investor Assistant Specialist Office of Investor Education and Advocacy, U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's personal opinion. That's right. And what they didn't say that in reference to their official capacity. So, Chip, bookends, no clarity before the lawsuit, no clarity when Pierce and Roisman announced no clarity in July 2021. The fair notice defense is alive and well. The NCC is losing this. They're losing on every step of the way. There's like, Chip, you're spot on. Every step of the way, no clarity, confusing. They're tripping over themselves. It looks like they have the documents. They're holding these things hostage. They don't want it to get out. There's a lot of things. It's great. It's great. When you get a chance, check out EOS versus SEC, the settlement. I'm going to have to check that out. K-HUD, it's not confusing. It's very clear. I agree. It's definitely clear. The confusion makes it even clearer. I agree. It is clear. Can we all just agree the SEC has to meet their settlement case KPI target? I agree with Paul as well. It's a sideshow. So much of this is a sideshow. Distraction while they do something else, right? So, all right. Let me dig down here. We've got some other stuff here. So we saw that one. We saw the Frank tweet. That was good. Remember back in the day, we talked about that. Here's another one. All right. I got to open this one. Hang on. Let me get this over here. Now, this was brought to us by Mike Moroth. Read Cato's brief supporting the cert here. The SEC does not have the authority to free ride on another agency's rulemaking by prospectively adopting rules not yet written. Yet, the SEC uses this borrowed authority to enforce AML regulations. So, am I not sharing the tweet? I forgot to share it. All right. So here's Cato's brief supporting cert here. All right. Let me make sure it opens before we get into, okay, let's see. How long is this? Oh, it's brief. It's so long, it's brief. So Alpine Securities versus the SEC. This is Cato Institute. Let's see what this is, Chip. Let's see what was shared with us. It takes a lot of time and effort for an agency to vet its proposals with the public, as required by law. But the SEC found a loophole. What? Found a loophole through these procedural safeguards simply by enforcing rules drafted by another agency. Now, there's all sorts of things wrong with that statement. When was this? August 20th, 2021. All sorts of things. Why does the SEC need to find a loophole? Loopholes are like, you don't have all the things in order, so you're going to find something that wasn't really, so you're going to find the loophole and you're going to take advantage of companies based on this loophole and use authority that didn't really belong to you, but you're going to use it anyways, supposedly helping to enforce and support independent individual investors. 40 years ago, the SEC prospectively incorporated by reference the Treasury Department's bank secrecy rules. That is, the SEC adopted a different agency's existing rule and any subsequent amendments made by that other agency. It shocks me that these are the things that go on behind the scenes. And then we wonder, why are things like this? What's going on right now? How does the people get away with this? How do these agencies get away with it? Aren't they supposed to be the representation of the people, the government of the people, by the people, for the people? I think they left out the for the people part. Since then, the Treasury Department has significantly changed its bank secrecy rule through public notice and comment procedures. Despite not having participated in this rulemaking, the SEC enforces the amended rule as its own. Now, it doesn't belong to them. That authority was never granted to them. Now, they claim authority to impose harsher penalties under a lower evidentiary standard than the agency, than the Treasury Department. So they're going to impose worse penalty than the agency that wrote the rules for themselves. How insane is that, right? Using this borrowed authority, the SEC brought a civil enforcement action in a federal district court against Alpine Securities alleging record-keeping violation. Rather than settle, the company countersued, arguing the SEC's administrative power grab runs afoul of congressional intent. That's massive. That's a countersuit, right? That's massive. The district court sided with the government and imposed a $12 million fine against Alpine Securities. The Second Circuit affirmed. Now the challenger seeks Supreme Court review. It has to go to the Supreme Court. How is the Supreme Court going to decide on an agency utilizing a loophole, taking advantage of the people by now taking another department's enforcement rules that are supposed to be under the guidance of that department? They're taking those rules and imposing harsher penalties than the very department that wrote the rules in the first place for their enforcement. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, right? Today, the Cato Institute filed a brief in support of the petitioner. We urge the court to rein in the SEC's purported authority to free ride on another agency's rulemaking. Holy crap, right? I look at that, I'm like, holy crap. I look at the letter from Frank. I look at Johnny Deaton, XRP Holders motion to intervene against the SEC, holding them accountable for what they did. Now imagine XRP Holders the SEC via Johnny Deaton stating that the SEC has far overreached their authority by targeting the retail investors of the digital asset by trying to capture enforcement of an asset that doesn't belong under the authority of the right? I mean, this whole thing becomes it's a crazy infinity loop. If you think about it, it's going to keep going on and on and on because you could keep arguing. But now you bring in the XRP holder case and they're saying, you know what, forget it. We're going to break it. It's not going to continue. It's not going to continue. It can't go on. The Cato Institute is saying the exact same thing. The Cato Institute is saying, whoa, time out. This doesn't fly. We're bringing this to the Supreme Court. Not the Cato Institute, but the petitioner, Alpine Securities, going to the Supreme Court. The Cato Institute supports them. That's massive, right? It's a massive statement, whether they win or not, but come on. I mean, it's out of control. It's completely out of control. At what point does it stop? At what point do they realize, think about everything that went on with Robinhood and GameStop, right? With the Wall Street bets a number of months ago. Wall Street bets, you had a bunch of individuals. Yeah. Did people get caught holding the bag? Yes. Was there a lot of pumping going on? Yes. All that stuff was going on. But they come out and instead of saying, you know, what was going on with the Robinhood, you know, what's going on with the this and that, let's take a look at it and try to figure it out. They're like, immediately target the retail investors, target the platform that the retail investors using, figure out a way to shrink the leverage that the smaller retail investors have, immediately try to pit the smaller retail investors against potential big whales in the space that are pumping the space. Now, again, if you come out, they're supposed to protect the little guys from Ponzi schemes and whales that are trying to manipulate the marketplace. Granted, there was a Reddit movement that was pushing on the other side of the big institutions that were trying to short and destroy a company. Destroy them. They were trying to short them to a point into non-existence. right? And then the other side said, no, we don't agree with what the big institute, but then the government comes out, the SEC says, no, that's okay. They can short it. Not a big deal. Just like over here, hey, you know what? It's okay. You can badmouth, the SEC can come out and badmouth XRP investors all they want. There were statements. They said the XRP holders weren't even smart enough, right? It's crazy. But then what happens when the crypto community gets fired up, right? The crypto community blows up, right? Crypto community comes out in force on every phone call that they've had in the SEC v. Ripple case, blowing up the phone lines. They try to ram in some crypto legislation that would have single-handedly undermined and decimated the innovation in the space in the United States. And the crypto community pulls together and blows up their phones again, blows up their phones. They couldn't, the phone systems crashed because there are so many people Mayfield sending out phone calls. That's amazing. That's amazing stuff. So, all right, that was the Cato brief. Now, we're going to kind of bob and weave a little bit here. All right, let me bob and weave a little bit because I thought this was interesting. Now, on the other side of all of this, you have the big central banks and the government bodies coming out in favor of central bank digital currencies, centralized, right? British citizens aren't sold on central bank digital currencies, survey says. A survey of 2,500 adults in the UK has found that most Brits are skeptical about CBDCs, yet a good percentage of Brits also are in favor of digital assets, cryptocurrencies. A total of 73 respondents were worried about the threat of cyber attacks and hackers. I would be too. And then the government's going to say, sorry. What's more, 45% of respondents raised concerns about the potential environmental harm that a CBDC would cause. Come on. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I want to see the question that they asked that spun it in such a way that they're worried that a CBDC would cause harm. Come on. I mean, I don't want to go down that path, but come on. I mean, that's just ludicrous. Come on now. All right. How come this won't go up? There we go. XRP Speedboat, SEC Pajama Party. PJs have 20 hidden pockets in each leg, each shirt breast, all over the place. All right. That was interesting, wasn't it? I thought I liked that. Let me unhide that, or unhide. Let me remove that. All right. So then all this stuff going on. Check this out. I got to go through a couple cool tweets that were shared with us because it's cool. This was shared by Van Life Biker, right? And so let me pull this up on the screen. Let's get this up here. Here we go. Hang on now. Here we go. So Grayscale has been allowed by the SEC to run and sell an XRP trust for years. This was done using the exact same form and the exact same information as Ethereum. Can someone explain to me how this should be possible when the SEC says XRP, unlike ETH, is an illegal security? That's what I was saying, the infinity loop. Their argument keeps going around and around and around. You can never get off their train, right? Because they're going to keep making it up as they go along. Whatever, it fits their narrative before, but now yet they're filing suit against Ripple back to 2013. And they're like, no, you did it wrong. But over here, they did it right. But now it's an illegal security. But we can't actually explain it. And ETH, when it was an ICO, may have very well been a security, but then it wasn't. But then it is. But then it's not. But then this and then that. And it gets confusing, right? It's awesome. It's awesome. Oh, man. Boxes. We need boxes of clarity. We need you remember the boxes of clarity? They're at the office. I've got all the boxes of clarity. We had them stacked up, stacked boxes of clarity, but we keep all the clarity at the office. You guys saw those boxes stacked up. Those are great boxes of clarity. Now, if I could only start giving them out, I'm saving them for the right people. So only certain big supporters, big VIP supporters will get boxes of clarity. Oh my God. Johnny Crypto, is anyone really surprised? Nope, not at all. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm now looking at that. That's ridiculous. No one has ever seen Jeff and Stefan W. Huber in the same room. That's hilarious. I wasn't even paying attention. And I could see from the small little thing, especially, I probably grew the beard out at the wrong moment. I bet if we zoom in, there'll be no resemblance. Now it's kind of, look at that. He's got the beard, got the white shirt. He's got the shaved head. Man, holy cow. That's funny. XRP Speedo, boxes of Claritin and Sudafed, or is that Sudafed? It's one of them. Gary, Chip, I got to find that thing that you had. I want to download it and then put it into a little clip like we have. Gary. All right. So these are in this article. Look at this. You got SEC notice, Grayscale, Ethereum, SEC notice, Grayscale, XRP. It's in their archives. They didn't even delete it. They don't even have the audacity to delete it. At least delete it, right? At least delete it. Get rid of it. Say it's no longer, sorry that file got corrupted. And then Kwee here says, what about the Ripple MGI MoneyGram deal where XRP was to be used for ODL? Now, XRP and the XRP ledger and the ODL was utilized by MoneyGram for foreign currency exchange. They did use it. They didn't use it on the retail side, but they used it on the foreign currency exchange side, which was huge for them. They said it. They came out and said it was huge for them. So you don't understand contradictions. Your problem. It's pretty clear. XRP isn't a it's pretty clear. XRP isn't a security. Isn't. It isn't. See? It's awesome. There's that Frankie Frank. So, man, oh man. XLM developed a CBDC for Ukraine. CBD system is going to be a reality. Get in or left behind. Now, XLM, actually, they built it on a private chain for the Ukraine. And I believe they ran into some complication that when the XLM was updated, when the Stellar Foundation updated, it did not update the private chain, which caused problems for the trial that Ukraine was rolling out. I don't know where it all ended, though, but very critical. And Patrick Patterson says XLM is Sharia compliant, whatever that means. Sharia compliant, you can get into a whole conversation on that, is relevant in the Middle East. It does have some relevancy. So, all right, let's see. There's a couple other good things here. Now, I do want to share also. Now, you guys know, this show is brought to you by Permission.io. Now, Permission.io, actually, I want to look it up here in a minute. I'm going to look it up, but they had a big press release today. Let me pull up this press release, see if I can get it. Hang on, put it over here. This is a pretty big press release for them. So Permission.io announces availability on Google Cloud Marketplace to accelerate permission-based advertising. Permission.io will integrate into Google Cloud Marketplace, expanding access to its infrastructure for marketeers to build opt-in audiences and reward consumers for engagement. I mean, this is pretty big. It's a pretty big deal for them. to move in this direction. I believe there's going to be a lot of other amazing things that they're going to roll out. You could see that they're in this phase. There's not a lot that are really attacking this space, and it's a big space. It's kind of like Ripple attacking the Swift space. Well, Permission is attacking the marketing ad space, and it's pretty massive. A leading provider of permission-based digital advertising today announced the availability of its blockchain validator node and blockchain full node on Google Cloud Marketplace. With both of these offerings available on the Google Cloud Marketplace, users will have access to Permission.io's secure private blockchain to send transactions, test, and install dApps, while earning Permission.io ASS token, the currency for permission. That's pretty cool. And then they have their validator nodes. There's something going on. They're really ratcheting things up right now, which will enable them to participate in the consensus mechanism and earn ask for running the node. This opportunity will be available for approved Permission.io partners only. We do not have a permission node yet. We don't have one. We don't have a validator node. So, but that's something that Chip and I have talked about. It would be very cool. I like the idea of nodes in general. Obviously, some of them are cost prohibitive. You can't do it. Not possible. Well, some people can do it. Not saying, but you look at, you want to get a node here, a node there, that kind of leverage, the different platforms that are coming out. It's exciting. It's exciting. So check Gerardo Cantu. XLM is partnered with IBM and runs on the Hyperledger. It's big. Stellar and XLM is big. It's a big deal, right? Russian influence stepped in Ukraine. Putin up to no good. Let's see. Would be 1098 from Bitcoin in 86 days from end of year on 10/6/21. I don't know what that's referencing. What is that referencing? Yep. But XRP Panic, not a fan of the XLM. XRP Panic, definitely a fan of the XRP. How about that? XRP is the main woman and XLM is the side chick. Sometimes you got to hedge your bet. Can't wait for SEC to launch their own coin to pay for clarity. Wonder what it'd be called. A definite S coin. You never know. How crazy is that, right? Today is 129 days left in 20. Interesting. Yes. Here a node, there a node, everywhere a node. No, there are nodes popping up everywhere, all over the place. All right, that's kind of cool. So that's it. No. All right. So there's something else that came out, and I kind of like this article. Now, I did not invest in Cardano. I did not invest in ADA. ADA is blowing up right now. Crazy stuff, right? But hang on, I gotta block that real quick and zoom in. Hopefully you can zoom around. Here we go. Share this. This is on U.Today, but Cardano creator slams central banker who says that crypto industry is full of scammers. So over and over and over, we're going to get more and more of the builders, of the creators in this space coming out aggressive, right? Fed's Neil Kashkari claims that the entire, not just a part, not just one or two, the entire cryptocurrency industry is filled with scammers. There's scammers out there. Yes. Oh, look, come on. I used the wrong browser. Used the wrong browser. Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis President Neil Kashkari has once again riled up the crypto community with his recent tweet in which he says that the crypto industry is only, not a few, only filled with scammers who rip off the uninitiated with their pump and dump schemes. Really? Come on. Kashkari's most recent comment has united different tribes of the crypto community. United all the tribes. IOG CEO Charles Hoskinson who created proof-of-stake blockchain project Cardano, pointed to the Fed Reserve's egregious money printing that he believes is pushing people to place their faith in sound money that cannot be manipulated by the government. The inflationary currency. So the org that printed trillions every year and claimed there's no inflation, thereby devastating the poorest among us, has an issue with sound money that cannot be manipulated by politics. I'm shocked, Neil. Shocked. Huh. Please do point me to the communities being lifted out of poverty due to crypto, other than scammers ripping off unsuspecting people in pump and dump schemes. How many people around the world have done well in the crypto space? How many in the crypto space will do well as they move forward? How many people, if all they got out of it, gained a little bit of, gain, or got a little bit of gain in the crypto space, but learned a hell of a lot about finances? Is that not a gain in itself? Imagine you have a small gain, or maybe you have some losses. The losses that you get, even when you're investing in stock, the real world investment of your sweat and tears that you're putting into investment sometimes comes out in a loss. And that loss sometimes is the best education that you can get. Think about all the years that you can put into, university. How many people go into debt, massive amounts of debt over university? They come out of college here in the US, and that's a scam on its own. You're basically paying for a piece of paper that says you're now qualified to go to graduate school. If you're going into a specific specialty like law, or you want to be a CPA, or you want to be a PhD or whatever, then in that case, but for the most part, it's crazy, right? You go into these institutions, capitalist institutions that preach socialism, the most capitalist of all capitalism. They're selling, get this, at the university level, they sell regurgitated information. Most of the professors are teaching information that belongs to somebody else that doesn't even belong to them. Yet they're getting paid a salary to teach you regurgitated information at a university that is selling you a degree to hang up on your wall for $50,000 or $60,000. Now, if you're investing, and let's say, I'm just saying, worst case scenarios, you invest and you learn a lot of stuff, and then you lose $5,000, $10,000 in your education of investing, right? You go through, not over your whole lifespan. Let's say in a short period, let's say you lost 5,000 and you learned a hell of a lot. Now, you learn from your mistakes. You read some books, you look at what's going on, you learn from your mistakes, and you go back and next time you don't lose money. And you look at the 10,000 you lost, you're like, that was an education. Holy crap. I just learned something. I learned what I should do and what I shouldn't do. I learned that I shouldn't chase FOMO and I shouldn't sell on FUD. I shouldn't be the last one in. I shouldn't necessarily be the last one selling. All this different stuff, right? And it's amazing to me, right? It just amazes. It's just all this stuff. And then you watch this Kashkari bashing and trying to undermine the crypto space. You have some of the most brilliant minds in the crypto. I'll be shocked. All of a sudden it blows up one day and they're like, it's like, gotcha guys. It was a big scam. That's it. It wasn't the brand new asset class. They're not building a whole new financial infrastructure around this. All these smart people in the space were just taking advantage of you. I mean, it's like, come on. If that's the case, then how about, the way they manipulate you to buy and sell stock or do other things, right? I mean, come on. It's amazing. It's amazing to me. All right. I love that. I love some of those articles coming out. We dug through that. I've got another one here. Where is it? Here's one. I don't know if this is 100% accurate. I didn't look it up. Let me see if it. Oh, wait, it's gone. It is gone. The article disappeared. Page not found. Apparently, it wasn't accurate. I don't know what happened with that article. Huh. I don't know about this one. What happened to it? Oh, well, it is gone. We'll go to this next one. This one's not so interesting. Maybe a little bit. Not super. Dolce & Gabbana sets date for Haute Couture NFT drop. You know what? I don't care. Honestly, I honestly don't care. The fashion house marketplace partner says the NFTs will bring D&G's work from physical to metaphysical. You know what? I hope nobody buys it. You know what? I'm not a player at all. Not exciting to me. I don't want to see any of these guys that have also taken advantage of people by pushing a false narrative that you have to be seen wearing certain types of clothing, carrying certain types of handbags because they have a brand name on it and you're paying 20 times the amount, and they parade around on red carpets, not in any way, shape, or form saying, hey, I'm taking away from their what they've built from a money earning perspective. Hey, all the power to them to build a business. But honestly, I could give a crap about them launching an NFT. What I do get fired up about, though, is that you get like the crypto punks or others that are starting out and bringing their actual art and coming up with something unique and building the NFT. That to me is amazing. You know, what people are able to do to build and generate is amazing to me. These guys are like, oh, we're Me Too movement, and we also have an NFT. Look at us. You know, they're missing out. It's like you see all these, actors and celebrities that come out making these ridiculous TikTok videos. I'm like, who cares? Yes. Nobody cares about you anymore. Oh, well, that's your problem, you know? But when you have people building in the space, and back to Kashkari, people all over the world have been building in this space. People all over the world have been able to change their life in the crypto space. I want to see once and for all to see people building and developing and doing something amazing for themselves, regardless of the world that they live in. To me, that's amazing. Doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter what country you're in. You could be in Afghanistan. We saw that thing with Afghan and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and what it could do for the people over there. And now devastation, but imagine they have to find a way, just like in Syria, in Lebanon, in Venezuela, in Cuba, and now in other countries all around the world, fleeing their inflationary fiats that have zero value, moving it into the crypto space where they know it has value. And the best part about these people in these countries putting it into cryptocurrency is that they can use that money anywhere in the world, anywhere. So one of the biggest limitations around the world is that your currency cannot be traded easily. The foreign currency markets are not easy in most parts of the world. Even going through conversions of currency, the banking system structures in many parts of the world are not directly easily accessible to people. If someone has a cell phone and a cryptocurrency, they now have access to the entire world. That's amazing to me. It's amazing. Somebody could be sitting in a grass hut and they get some power, some electricity in their grass hut, and they're sitting there watching on the chain on a dirt floor in a grass hut out in the middle of the wilderness, but somehow they're able to power their cell phone and they're trading cryptocurrency and building a blockchain project. How amazing is that? A laptop, a cell phone, and an internet connection, and people anywhere in the world can move beyond the control mechanism and the limitations that are put on them by an artificially manipulated system. How much freer does that get? How amazing is that? That is capitalism at its finest. I love it. Bruce Lee used no limitation as limitation. I love it. Yeah. I mean, the best lessons in life from Jeet Kune Do, from Kung Fu, and the balance achieved. It's amazing, right? It's amazing. I love it. Forex is a nightmare. It is. Crazy stuff. I mean, it's insane. Really, I can't tell you how many deals we worked on around the world that were limited or blocked or delayed or whatever it was, and we couldn't do it because of those issues. It's crazy. Yep, crazy because of foreign currency exchange. Man, oh man. Let's see. Where are we? Hex 19. Right. All you need is a cell phone and intermittent power to build generational wealth. Oh, look at that statement. What an amazing statement that is, right? Generational wealth with crypto assets. We have no idea where this is going right now, right? It's somewhere in an amazing direction because there's so much pushback from the institutions and the brick and mortars. There's so much resistance, even though we know they're preparing themselves. But as we're seeing with these bigger organizations, they're going to gobble them up. And things are going to change. Things are changing in before our eyes. This is like the Amazon moment of the 90s, the Microsoft, Apple moment of the 80s. Imagine the direction. Imagine you were there at the infancy of the internet projects and you had visibility and you had a platform like this to go and listen to people and share information with people and communicate with people all over the world and learn from them. And then you would have seen the entire internet boom differently and have the availability and the ability to invest and do things. It could be unreal. I mean, it'd be, and that's kind of where we're at. This is like unfathomable. It's amazing to me. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Actually, my 15-year-old daughter watches this. So yeah, as a Blue Wrench says, I can appreciate that. Keep the attacks and the F-bombs and all that stuff if you can, even though we slip every so often, but that's how it goes. So man, so true. This will be bigger than the internet. And that's kind of the direction it's going in. Unreal, right? My strategy, Jim D, my strategy is to count on government incompetence and game it through anticipation of political idiots blowing up the Fed system. It's crazy. I look through, and again, we love On the Chain. The On the Chain community, one of the best in the crypto space by far. I keep seeing, more and more people commenting and feeding information through here. I see brand new names that haven't commented before. It's outstanding when you see new people here, and so if you're brand new, this is your very first time here on the chain. Normally it's co-hosted with Chip and I. Chip's with family this week. He was in the chat a little bit earlier, but definitely make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button because that way it definitely helps us, right? If you subscribe, I gotta pull out the comment first. So if you subscribe to the channel and you hit the bell notifier, you get notified every time we go live, which we do. We stream live 6 days a week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday through Thursday, and every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's important, right? Now, if you subscribe, it actually helps the channel. We say this all the time. The algorithms of Google, you like the show, the more likes you get, the more it gets pushed out there to get recommended. You subscribe, you hit the bell notifier. We like it. It's great, right? We're building our community. We have an amazing community. But as that grows, then Google says, hey, let's keep pushing them out to more people. We think we have an important message to share. I think you guys have a critical message to share because I see it coming through loud and clear in the comments every single time. Now check that out. Hit the like OTC family. It actually looks better in the comment section than up on the screen, but you guys are awesome. You guys are fantastic. It's just really, really great. We need a 20,000 giveaway. That's it. When we reach 20,000 subscribers, we can give away some On the Chain merch. How about that? An On the Chain shirt. Chip has been working on some new images and stuff like that. Hopefully that will get some stuff, volcano power and some other things. That could be a great idea. Sophie, the most intelligent community in crypto. right here. That's it. Exactly. Exactly. So Zoom conference. Actually, you know what? We have been planning. There's a couple of things we're planning. We did in the past, as many of you might know, we hosted multiple on the chain sponsored meetup sessions. And we have a software that we bought that allows people to get together, and we can invite some guests in to speak and kind of be in a forum type audience and a watching kind of format. And then we can break people away into separate tables. And then you have tables of 10 people sharing, and you can see each other sitting around the table, and you can talk within the room, 10 people, and we have multiple tables. And so we're planning to do another one of these meetups, which would be amazing. So, and it beats Zoom hands down because we can get it out there, you register for it, and it's really, really cool. And so we are going to plan another one of those. We've been working on a whole bunch of ideas. Time is limited, but we are tweaking the website. We're getting that going. We're also working on, once the website gets done, then we're going to start working on a newsletter and some other things. There's going to be some support mechanisms, for on the chain as we start building out some of these bigger, better projects. It'll be really, really, really cool. So, legendary, intense stream tonight, Jeff. I appreciate it. Now, tomorrow night, I guess I could drop in now. I'll let you guys know right now. Tomorrow night, hang on. Tomorrow night, we have James Rule, XRP, here with us on the chain. James Rule, XRP. So come check it out. James Rule, XRP, right here on the chain. It'll be James Rule, my co-host, sitting in for a chip tomorrow night. So that will be phenomenal. That's going to be a great conversation tomorrow. And a live meetup. Yes, we want to plan a live meetup. That would be amazing right here in South Florida. So good stuff. Really good stuff. I'd have to join the live show from a ditch in the road. There you go. All right, guys. So that's it. That's what I got. I've put everything out there. That's it for tonight. But tonight is another night. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So we got another great night planned. And guess what? I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.